are not safe in child protective services, and they won't give them back to their loving families because they're making money.
This is a legal system that you're going into. And if you don't know the rules, you will be chewed up and spit out.
If I could say anything to a mother who just got their children detained, you're in a crisis. Yeah. Life feels like it's over. The most important thing is regaining custody of your children.
The child welfare system at its core is designed to protect children who need protection. Okay, and that's key, is who need protection.
So social workers, out of fear, will remove more children rather than only remove those children that truly need to be removed.
It's okay. It's okay.
This isn't someone stole your car. Someone broke into your house. This is someone took your child, your flesh and blood.
It doesn't say on this order that it was not proven. It says untrue. I immediately knew that, okay, well, this ain't over.
Were there signs there? Were there no signs? Did I miss them? Did I catch them? At this point, I honestly don't know.
Families only get a finite amount of time to reunify.
I came into this field to help families, not destroy them.
The difference between the criminal system and the child welfare system is substantial. You have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Georgette Truen. I am the co-host for Fight CPS Real Talk with Ms. G, and I also work for the law office of Vincent W. Davis. My guest today is Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra.
Hi.
Cassandra, go ahead and let people know a little bit about your story, sweetheart.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. That introduction video really,
I know, baby.
Oh.
I know. It hits home. I know. It hits home. It's deep.
Well, sorry.
Okay.
This whole thing started in 2018.
Mhm.
And my girls, they got taken from their father because he got in some trouble. They came into the house and I guess took them, and he went to jail. But the only reason why he had them is because I didn't have anywhere to go. So I thought they were going to be safe with their dad, be able to go to school and have a place to stay. So they got taken from him. But when I had a place to stay, I didn't even know that they got taken. I had to have a friend come to my house and tell me, hey, do you know what happened? Did they get a hold of you yet? Anything. And they never tried to get a hold of me or anything. I went, I had to wait until Tuesday to talk to anybody about it because it was a holiday weekend that they got taken. And I went to court and they tell me that all these bogus allegations on me, that I knew everything was going on over there. I knew everything that was happening. I was there every day, apparently. And it was all told through a unidentified person. They told me that I had a drug issue and I was letting him do all those things, with criminal activity with our kids there. There was people in and out of the house all the time, unknown people. And I was shocked because I had no idea that stuff was going on. If I did, I would have took them out of that situation. Well, now it's been since 2018. So my kids have been, every time I try to get a hold of somebody to even have a visit, to even have any type of interaction with the whole thing so I can get my kids back, I was told that their social worker changed. I leave my phone number, nobody would ever call. I'd call again. Oh, the social worker's not in. I can't help you. And it's just been, I've been out of the loop. Their dad actually went, I've never seen this man do anything good in his whole life. Like, that's why we weren't together. Like, I'd never seen him be out of jail or anything unless he had our kids. As soon as the kids got taken, he flipped his whole life around. Like, and we were all proud of him. Like, we were like shocked. He did all the classes that they wanted him to do, did everything that they wanted him to do. And in jail, he did that. Mm-hmm. When he got out, they told him that didn't count. And then he did it over again. And then they told him they were going to give us our kids back in January of 2019. Mm-hmm. And that never happened. Then that's when he fell off the deep end and he quit. He couldn't do it anymore because he never, ever has done anything in his life good until then. And then it just broke him and he couldn't. And then recently, since he's been in jail, the only person they have to talk to is me. So I'm all of a sudden the one person that they need to talk to. And now that my kids are older, they separated them. One is, she's doing okay, but the other one keeps on running away. And while she was running away and being AWOL from their placement, she met somebody and they told me that they couldn't do anything about it. He was 19. She went off with him. She got pregnant. She's only 14. And she got pregnant, and now come to find out that this boy is doing this to young girls. So like she's been basically like got her innocence taken from her, and they didn't do anything about it, and they're still not doing anything about it. And they say that she's supposed to be safe. I don't think that's safe. Like, and then now, like, a psychiatrist called me the other day and asked me what I think that, like, would be the best placement for my daughter. And I'm like, well, she sure in the heck wouldn't be, like, pregnant at 14 years old and having to get an abortion because
oh, Cassandra, I know it's hard.
It's so messed up. Like, why did she have to go through this? It's more mentally and all this like she wouldn't have mental health problems if she wasn't not with me. Mm-hmm. I had them for most of their life. And all they wanted to do was come home to me. And they won't let them.
How old is your daughter?
One's 14 and one's 13. And they just won't even let them come home.
When that piece of shit psychiatrist or therapist called you to ask you a stupid question like that, what was your response?
Well, he told me that he's all like, I can't have you tell me that they need to come home to you, but you could say that they need to be in a family setting, like a family setting, foster care, or a family setting possibly being with a family member. And I just said, well, then I definitely think that she needs to be in a family setting, because they're trying to figure out if she needs to be in a family setting, foster care, or a placement or group home.
What about a family member?
I really don't have any family members that are able to take them, and that's always been the problem. Like, I don't have anybody that can take them, except for like a close family friend, but she's not in the position right now to take them. Her house is too small and she already has too many things going on.
So basically they did not bring the children to you, even though you're not the offending parent, right? Your ex was, and they blame you. Basically, they're blaming you, saying that you knew about him, or you knew what he was doing, and you didn't know what he was doing inside the house, obviously. What was the allegation against him?
Well, apparently he had, like, they think he was dealing out of the house because there was random people coming in and out, they say. There was 2 of his, I guess, friends there that also got arrested with him. He had apparently had guns in the house that I didn't know about. His grandma lives there also. Like, it was his grandmother's house.
So you didn't know that. You probably thought that the grandma lives there. That's her house. You didn't think any of this would be happening.
No, I didn't. That's the whole. Yeah, I thought the grandma was there. Why would that be happening? You know, like, that's her house. But obviously that wasn't the case. One of the 2 friends that were there told them that I knew everything that was going on. That it was okay to be, you know, like, I was like, oh yeah, it's okay. Like, the friend that I think did it also didn't like me. I've never had drug allegations ever, and they said that I was on drugs. And then
that part, let me stop you for a second. That part is what got me earlier. They say people are on drugs, but what the fuck? I mean, sorry. What did they do to say, like, did they give you a drug test and you were positive? How can they just assume you're on drugs? That's what gets me. How can you assume that this mother is on drugs when this mother is really not on drugs? But they somehow, in their demonic little bird brain, they write down that the mother's on drugs.
Yeah, and I was actually had a court order drug test to go drug test. After I got out of court, it was already, like, I'd say like 3:00 in the afternoon. I live all the way in one town, which is like an hour and a half away from where the courthouse was. And so we decide that we're going to go to where, because they gave me a list of places to go drug test. One of them was in my town. So I went to that facility to go drug test, and they tell me, oh, you can't drug test for that here. We only do it if you have a certain color that pops up. Right. What? And then like you get a message, and if your color is like pops up, like if it's your color, you have to go drug test that day. Like, it's like a system they have. And they told me that I couldn't drug test there. And I'm like, well, you guys' name is on the list. Like, why can't I have a letter saying I need to drug test? And they're like, well, we can't do it because you don't have the special color or whatever. And I'm like, well, can you guys write this down and like have a letter saying that I tried, and then I could possibly get something to do it? Like, and they said, yeah. So they wrote me out a note saying that they couldn't do it. And then I took it to the office, and they told me, oh, well, that counts as a dirty.
Right there. That right there. How, it's like they set you up to fail. They literally set you up to fail. You think they did? They have incompetent assholes that work for CPS. I don't care what county it is. I know that it's in California. I'm not going to say what county it is in, but it's either San Bernardino, LA County, right? We don't know. However, these mother ifs are corrupt. How are they going to say it's a positive, right? An automatic positive, knowing that you got a letter from that clinic saying, hey, we can't drug test you because you have to be a certain color. How is that a positive, right? You're following me, Cassandra?
Yeah.
Common sense, right? But then the judge, right? The judges are so stupid that they actually believe what the social worker wrote down in that report. That's how stupid the judges are. Go on, Cassandra. I didn't mean to interrupt you, baby, but this is very important to address because this is not your fault. Like so many mothers and fathers out there. Go ahead.
And then once that happened, then I basically got pushed out of the loop. Like nobody would tell me anything about anything. I was just pushed out, and then I tried to get a hold of people. They tell me that I'm not. The social workers change, so we'll give you their number. I'd give them their number. I'd leave a message, give them my number, and I would never get contacted. This happened for like this whole time I've been out of the loop, like trying to get in, and all the information I get is from their father when he was out of jail and from their grandfather who passed away. And then once that happened and they couldn't get a hold of anybody else, then they start getting a hold of me. I just barely got a letter in the mail saying that they had a court date. And that was like the second letter that I've ever got. And they've had like 6 court dates. And that's the second letter I've ever got for them to tell me that they had a court date. I appeared at the court date and they tell me, oh, this wasn't a court date for you to be here. And I was all like, well, why did you send me a letter telling me that they're having a court date if I'm not supposed to be here? Like, you didn't send me a letter for any of the other ones that I was supposed to be at. So I went all the way down to wherever, like the courthouse, 2 hours away to be told that I didn't need to be there. And I get the report that they're supposed to be giving to like everybody in the courtroom. And it says nothing about my daughter. It says her being AWOL. It shows her being AWOL, but it says nothing about her being sexually offended. It says nothing about her being pregnant. It says all her health issues are fine right now. Yeah, pretty much they just left that out.
They left that pregnancy out from there. See, that's how. Yeah. So, oh my God. Oh my God. Do you see how when your child ran away, right? She's crying out for help.
Yeah.
But it's okay to run away. But it's not okay to go back home. But it's okay to be on the street. They would rather have a 14-year-old on the street, right? For men to take advantage of, then send the child back to her mother where she feels more safe. That's what children are crying out to go to, is their homes. But they would rather have that child in the system because they collect money. It's money coming in. Yeah. Having that child, having an open CPS case. Get it? And then the younger the child is, the more adoptable the child is, right? So what foster parents are doing now, they know that it costs a lot of money to, go outside and adopt, right? It costs a lot of money. So what they chose to do, hey, let's become foster parents so we can adopt. This is the cheapest way, and you get paid for it. Okay. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm not going to say who, but a friend of mine's relative wanted to adopt because her and her husband they couldn't have kids. So they said in front of me that they would rather become foster parents, right? The cheapest way to adopt. And they get paid for it at the same time. Get it? And here we are dealing with our children running away, where they have a perfectly great mother right there, wanting her kids back. Kids wanting to go back to their mom. And yet they would rather see the children on the street, and it's okay. It's okay. And then they have these foster parents who become foster parents to adopt. Get it? But they don't want to adopt a runaway. They want to adopt a baby so they can mold the baby and raise the baby the way they see fit. Right?
Yeah.
So that's how corrupt the Department of Child Services are. That's how messed up they operate with no brain cells. They literally have a brain a size of a bird brain. They literally have nothing to operate with other than demonic ways. They're demonic ways, and they're so freaking stupid that I am surprised that they actually graduated high school. In my opinion, they barely graduated high school to begin with. These mother F's have issues from childhood. They become social workers, and they inflict pain on people with a smile. I know they watch my show, Cassandra. I know they do. And I'm telling them right now, you are worthless pieces of shit. All of you. All social workers. All court-appointed attorneys. All district attorneys. And
yeah, they treat you.
Yeah.
They treat me like I'm a cookie cutter. Yeah. Like they're just the same. Everything's the same. Like no matter what my attorney tells me, I just have to do what they want me to do. And I was all like, but why do I need to go to a drug program and sit with people and listen to their stories about being on drugs and stuff if I'm not? Why do I have to do that? And they said I have to do domestic violence classes because of things that happened between me and my mom when I was younger. And that's why I have to take domestic violence classes. And I'm like, but me and my kids, there's nothing. Like, I've never done anything to my kids. They've always been safe. Like, I've always kept them as safe as possible. I was being responsible, I thought, giving them to their dad because they didn't have a place to stay. And all because I was trying to be responsible and take care of my kids and make sure they were going to school and they had a place to stay. It backfired on me. And
over 64.
And every time.
Just so you know, one of my followers on my show sent me a video of a newborn baby that just died 6 days ago in foster home. A newborn that just died 6 days ago in foster home. It's on YouTube. Here we go. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Here it is. 6 days ago. Yeah. It's on YouTube. It says newborn baby dies 6 days ago in foster care. This is our foster system. This is our foster system, right? Now, the baby would not have died with the mom, right? They go to hospitals, Cassandra. They target newborns because those are the ones that are easily adopted. and they make more money from that adoption. So mothers like you and other mothers are fighting for their children, right? Your children are teenagers.
Yeah.
They should come back to you. They're at that age where they should go back to their mom. But
And
yet,
I
appointed attorneys treat you like you're a scumbag, right?
hmm
You're worthless. There's no use for you. And the judges shut you down like you're an idiot, like you're not human, like you have no values. And yet, all of them, all these mother F's are all full of shit. All of them are full of freaking shit because they treat human beings like dirt.
Yeah.
This is how disgusting the system is. They violate you, they violate your children. And foster parents, what? Oh my God. They get so many reports of foster parents abusing, right? Children are not going to run away if they're not being abused. Children will not run away if they're not being abused. And some children can't even run away because the abuser holding them captive. Get it? They got to their mind, to their psyche, to make them think that it's okay. This is normal. This is how it's going to be. So, did the judge give you a chance to speak, Cassandra, in court?
I have never spoke to a judge. I've never been in like a courtroom, except for the first time when I first went. That's the only time I've ever went in a courtroom. Never got to talk to a judge. Nothing. Never had a chance to even fight for my kids.
Wow.
Not once. They haven't heard anything from me. They haven't heard like how I believe that the allegations are not true because they're believing a drug addict that was at the house when the dad got arrested over me, and I was taking child development classes at the college at the time of this too. And I already had parenting classes from First Five, like I already did all that. And they said, oh, well, that doesn't count. You got to redo it. You got to take a drug test. But I feel like they've been targeting my kids like for a while because I've had CPS called on me 3 times prior to this by just people that don't like me or they want to start trouble or they're jealous or something like that. Each time CPS came to my house, I knew what to do. Like I knew automatically what to do. I made sure of that. They walked away every time. Never got a case open on mine. Never. Ever. And they tried to drug test me. They tried to do all that stuff. And I'm like, well, one time they tried to come in my house. They seen my cousin on the couch who has a girlfriend who got her babies, both of her kids taken from CPS because she was on drugs. So, and they're homeless. They needed a place to stay. He was on my couch. He sees him on my couch and says, now we got to drug test you because you're associated with him. I was like, that's my cousin. That's my family. I'm not going to let him sleep on the streets. It's raining outside. Well, then you need to take a drug test. And I said, no, that's not part of my allegations that were on the paper that you're holding. And that means I don't have to. I don't have to follow anything you say unless it's on that paper. And you see that nothing that's on that paper is true. My kids are fine. They're healthy. Their house is clean. Everything's fine.
They cannot make you do a drug test. It's illegal. They cannot actually force you to do that's within your rights. But this where they set the rules in place to violate it is by saying that it's an automatic positive if you don't do a drug test. In my head, when I hear a social worker talk, it's like she sounds like a I don't know how to explain it to you. They make me sick. How are you going to say it's an automatic? Where did that come from? Right? It should be a positive if you actually do take the test and it's positive. I mean, common sense, that's what it should be. But they say it's automatic positive if you don't do it. Yet they send you to a facility that's closed. They do that to parents. They send you to a facility that will not do your drug test. That's another one.
Yeah.
Or they tell you 15 minutes before the actual facility closes, and it takes you 30 minutes to get there. One of our clients, right, recorded all that. She had 15 minutes. They closed at 4 o'clock. She called her at 3:45 to go do a drug test. It took her 30 minutes to get there. She literally recorded the whole entire conversation from when the stupid worker called her and then driving to the facility to do a drug test. When she went, it was closed. She called the worker, told her, hey, you told me 15 minutes before they close. Did you know they closed at 4 o'clock? The worker said, oh, yeah, I knew. Then why would you tell me 15 minutes before they close? She said, it's an honest mistake. But yet the worker wrote down in the report, she's a positive. Yeah. No, the judge did not ask the worker, where is the freaking result? Right? Where is the result of the drug test that shows that that mother is positive? Do you think the judges should ask that question, Cassandra?
Yeah.
You would think, right? But to me, literally, in my opinion, judges just sit there. They eat their lunch, right? But that's it.
They get paid either way.
Yeah, it's like they go, wear their black robe, feel empowered. Hey, I'm a judge today. I'm a judge. They're like little puppets that CPS control. Judges are little puppets. It's like, strings. And CPS is doing this to them. So which way, judge? Which way are we going to go today? What kind of judge are you to not even see what? How could you not ask for proof? In your case,
no matter what, they're going to get paid either way. No matter which way it goes, they get paid.
That is true.
It doesn't matter.
That is very true. They get paid either way. But who's suffering here? Yes, mothers suffer. Fathers suffer. Yes, parents do suffer. But guess who suffers the most? More than your pain are the children. Yeah. And I'm telling you the God honest truth. All the kids I spoke to that outgrew the system, they told me they cried every night for their mother. Every night. And nobody cared. And nobody cared to listen. But also social workers will do this. They will say that the child said they don't want to come home. Then they go to the children and say, your mother didn't visit because your mother doesn't want to see you. But they will never tell the child that we restricted your mother's visitation. Right? We cut off the mother's visit. Because why? They would never tell your child that because the mother raised concern about the foster parent. Once you open your mouth and raise concern about the foster parent, right? They will remove your visits. They will deny you visits. And that's what they actually tell the mothers. I don't know if they told you that. If you raise concern, you will not visit your child again.
No, they haven't told me that. They've told me that my daughters have said that they don't want to come home. But I talk to my kids and they tell me they do want to come home. Yeah. Like my kids, they call me. Like they don't care. Like, and my daughter, when she did AWOL, the first place she came was my house. She came to me. My 14-year-old daughter, when she first AWOL, she came to me. And I had everything in my heart not to fucking take her.
I know.
And I had to take her back because she got sick. And I couldn't even take her to the hospital, or they would have just took her from there. I took her back. And then the next time that she did, she came right back here. And I had to take her back because she was pregnant and I couldn't take her to a doctor. And that's just what it sums down to. Like, if you have your kids and they get hurt or they get sick or something happens and you can't take them to a doctor because they'll just take them and then you'll be in trouble. And then it's your fault. And then it's all on you again.
Nowadays, right. Nowadays it's like this, but before, when I was a youngster, okay, and my mom would take me if something happened to me and I fell, because I used to always roller skates when I was a little girl, and I used to bruise myself a lot falling. You know what I'm talking about, right? Back in the day, it wasn't like this. You know, back in the day, it wasn't like, oh, the mother takes the child to the hospital because the child injured himself. It wasn't like the mother's fault. So it's disgusting how teachers are now getting incentives with all this reporting. You know that, right, Sandra?
Yeah.
They're actually getting incentives for making reports, and therapists and doctors and nurses, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the reports, even if the mother's in a domestic violence, they still put the report in the mother's name, right? Even though the mother called for help. When you are being abused, you don't know. You don't get a trigger, hey, I'm going to beat the crap out of you today, right? You don't, a woman is not going to, you know, it's like when somebody's abusing you physically or about to abuse you physically, you don't get a heads up. So when the mother calls the police to protect and serve, what does the police do? The police notifies CPS, right? CPS becomes involved. The report goes under the mother that she failed to protect. How in the name of God did the mom fail to protect when the mother is the one that called for protection? How demonic, right, are you people to set such demonic rules to violate people's rights, right? All for money. It's all about money. They make money off of your children and other parents' children. They make money. And they don't want to be caught and they don't want to be exposed. Why don't they want to be exposed? Why didn't that lady, that stupid worker, write down that your daughter got pregnant at age 14? Right? They left that part out. Where is it in the reports? Did you magically forget, you piece of shit? That's what I would ask. Did you magically forget? What did you then that day your brain was farting? How? How do you forget as a worker to write down the truth? How? I don't get it. But they don't want to be caught. Get it? They don't want to look like, they don't want to look.
And like, I believe that's why they're not they're not pressing charges on that boy. Because they don't want to get caught. Like, and they were trying to actually stop, because my daughter, I told her I'd support her either way because I'm more pro-life for all that stuff, but like she's deciding that she doesn't want to keep the baby. And I don't blame her because they'll probably just take the baby from her. And they were trying, like, they put her in a maternity placement. They called it a maternity placement. And the maternity placement told her that if she decided to go do that, that she couldn't stay there and they weren't going to help her try to do it. And I told her, they're going
to take the baby from her. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to go to, I showed her a website that I've found, like, which has helped me quite a bit, and it's for California Foster Youth Help like stuff like it's through the state, and it's the abundance person, and that's actually helped me a lot with everything. Like I see all their rights that they're supposed to have, that they're supposed to show the kids, but they don't. And I told her, like, it says that you do not have to tell anybody and go to the doctor when it comes to your sexual health, anything. You're 14. You don't have to go and tell anybody. You don't have to talk to your attorney before you go do it. You don't have to talk to your social worker. You could just go. You can do it by yourself. It says it right there in plain as day. And so me and, well, she has like, we have a person that she basically is a trusted person between me and CPS right now, who, because it was their pastor from their church, and she became a social worker when my kids became put in the system. She's been trying to help them, but at the same time, I feel like she's not, because she had them, and then she's the reason they got separated, because she said that they were fighting too much together. They're sisters. Of course, they're going to have arguments. They're going to fight. They're going to be rowdy. Like, they're sisters. It happens. But then they got separated because of that reason, because they said that they were unsafe to each other. And my daughter didn't start AWOLing or running away or whatever you want to call it until they got separated. And I told them the reason why she keeps on AWOLing is because you guys separated them. She had no reason to run before, and she wouldn't leave her sister behind. So since you separated him, now she has nothing to lose. She has nobody to protect, because that's her little sister. She doesn't have to protect her little sister because she's not there anymore. She's going to run. She's going to leave. She doesn't want to be there. And neither does the other one. But the other one, I think, is scared and doesn't want to try to run. But she told me the other day when I was on the phone with her, she's like, if I stay here any longer, I'm going to do something stupid. Like, I'm going to act out. And I am. And Mom, if I stay in here any longer, I'm going to do something. And I was like, don't do anything stupid. Like, don't, because they're just going to make it worse on you guys. Like, and I don't know how else to, like, I'm like, basically, like, I'm trying my hardest to do something about it, but I can't. It seems like nothing is like I don't understand why they have to be gone still. Like, they're teenagers. Like, why do you guys want them still? Like, I've been trying.
Honey, kids suffer so much, and your kids acting up with each other, they blame the mother for that. Just so you know. They say it's the mother's fault, it's the father's fault, whatever. Yet they don't see that the kids are traumatized being away from their mother. That's a big deal. Daughters need their mother. You know, when there's, you know, when you have two daughters, yes, they see their dad as protection, you know, as a manly thing, right? It's a, you know, protect me from bad people, like not bad people, but bad boys, right? But they see the mother as their friend. They can confide into the mom, to their mother. Young ladies need their mother. Period. Especially if they have a good mother, a good caring mom. You understand? Even if the mother, supposedly the mother, you know, does drugs or whatever, then get her help. Her with the kids. I always see that. Don't just steal children because you're making money off of them. You have to be dark inside you to actually see that as enjoyment. You have to. You cannot be normal to see children cry and begging to be home, but yet you put them in a foster home that's abusive, and you're allowed, it's okay for the child to run away. It's okay for the child to go on the street. This lady recorded the social worker telling her on the phone that is Saturday. That was last Saturday. Her daughter, she was telling the mother, her daughter ran away on Friday. Why didn't you call me on Friday? She said,
Exactly.
Yeah, she told her she was busy.
Yeah. Mine's told me he was out of town.
So that's how you see it. They oh my God, the kids become a number. That's all it is. Dollar sign. That's all it is. This person, new Samsung, said men ain't protecting women anymore. That's one reason for the money trail. Social workers don't do their job because their job is to steal children. That's all they do. Their job is to steal kids because that's how they make a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a salesperson and say you have to sell sell 5 cell phone cases a week, for example, right? You're going to do your best to sell 5 cell phone cases a week, right? So you can make that commission, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So social workers steal kids so they can ensure funding. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they get big incentives when they adopt children out.
I also have a son, and but he has a different father. And they told me that if I didn't give full custody to his father, they were going to take him too, when he had nothing to do with the stuff that was going on with the girls. He wasn't there. He was with his dad. Like, he had nothing to do with it. And they said that they'll take him on the same case if I didn't give full custody to my baby's dad. And my son's with his dad right now, but I had to give up custody completely in order for them not to take him.
And do you still see your son, Cassandra?
Yeah.
Is his father okay with this? Is he kind of like supporting you, or is he?
No, I get to see my son when
he feels
I don't want to. No, when I don't want to be harassed by his dad, like, basically, and he wants to try to. He basically is always trying to, like, get something, like, a rise out of me, make me cry. Like, I'm already going through it. Like, and he knows that. Like, his dad's, like, even, like, telling other girls, like, oh, this is your new mommy. Like, he's mentally, like, making my son, like, and that was better for my son, apparently. Like, for him to go with his dad and not see his mom, like, all the time. And I'm all he's ever known. Like, his dad just wants to try to manipulate him too. So people use kids as weapons all the time. It's really shitty for that to happen. Especially I'm having to fight with CPS, and then I'm having to fight with his dad.
That's sad. That's very, very sad. I just remembered a case that I was talking to a mother yesterday when you're saying this. She has 5 kids. 3 kids are from a different father, right? And the other 2 kids are from her current husband. Her current husband's mom hated her. So what did she do? She reported her to CPS. CPS, of course, with their little, bird brain. Well, everything looks good here, but they come back that night and steal the children from her. All 5 kids. All 5 kids. And nothing was wrong with the mother. It's just that the what do you call it? the wicked mother-in-law hated her. That's all she just hated her. And even though that the mother proved the allegations are false, she had to give up her rights to all the children. Get it? So 2 of the kids went to the grandmother, and the other 3 went to the other dad, right? She had to give up her rights for those 3 as well. And of course, the other dad loved it because he didn't have to pay child support anymore. So what did he do? He basically clapped his hand and bowed to CPS. Even though he's not taking care of the children, his new girlfriend is. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't want the mother to see them because he doesn't want the relationship, right, to bond. He wants to make sure the relationship is ending slowly. And
he took him out of state for a good 2 years. Like I wasn't able to see him at all for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because he was all the way across the United States. Like he was in Indiana and I'm in California. So he took him all the way over there. And then when they finally came back, like it's just been whatever about it. Like he just assumes that I'm just not I don't want to see my son, but I do. It's just, it hurts my son every time we see each other. That's because we've been apart for so long, and he cries and I cry because that's my baby. Like he's my baby. He's my youngest.
And you know, the saddest part about all this is that young mothers like you know, when they have more kids, say like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they will actually hold this case against you and remove your new baby from the hospital because of this case. That's how corrupt the system is.
That's like, and then that makes it even worse, like for me, because I can't have any more kids. So like, I can never have that time with them again.
I know. And you know, when mothers cry like this, Cassandra, they actually laugh at them and actually see that there is weakness. They see that it's weakness for you to cry over your children. You understand me? They see it as weakness. Who sees tears as weakness? If you really think about it, the ones that see tears as weaknesses are what? Narcissistic, sociopathic assholes. You understand? Narcissistic, sociopathic, sons of bitches. When they see a victim crying, right? That gives them more power. It feeds them, right? It feeds them. And that's exactly how CPS is. That's exactly who CPS is. There's literally, they're sick. If there's any complication with a home birthing, you guys, like I'm reading on this message, and 911 is called, meaning that the paramedic is called, they will report it to CPS. So either way, you have to be very careful what you think you can do, okay? And new Samsung said nobody have to give up their parental rights. The privacy protection in the 9th Amendment protects your parental rights. We agree. But how they violate your rights is by setting rules in these mother F's entities by violating those rights. Rules. Setting up rules in place to violate your rights. That's why it's very important to win cases like this. When one parent, remember this, if there's 2 parents involved, one parent separately, they're separated when it comes to juvenile courts, and each parent is against the state separately. Okay, each parent is against the state separately. They both have to have 2 different attorneys, not related to each other. And they treat you like a criminal case, even though you have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent. but they treat you like a criminal, like you literally murdered someone and you took out their heart and you cut it in pieces and fed it to your pets. That's how they treat you. That extensive. That is so intense how they treat parents in court. And in other states, in Missouri, I believe, I'm not sure, I will double check, but in Missouri, social workers have immunity, meaning this. Their immunity is you cannot sue them. Yeah. People think they can sue social workers in every state. In some states, you can't unless you prove that they did something maliciously. You know? And that information came from an attorney in Missouri that I spoke with today that gave me that information. But knowing me, I always like to confirm with Mr. Davis about everything. Like I said, he is literally my mentor when it comes to CPS cases. So they do things knowing what they're doing. That's why demons get away with things, right? Right? A murderer, a sociopathic idiot will get away with murder for years. And then all of a sudden they find out 25 years later that this person, right, who had a title, who works for the government, murdered this wife of his 25 years ago. But do you see how many years he got away with it? 25 years. Social workers know what they're doing. They know when they're lying, and they know how to lie. They actually go to school to learn how to fuck people's lives and how to screw with them. They tell you, they go to your home and say, you better sign this document right here in order for you to see your children. If you don't sign this document, you're not going to get your kids back. What do parents do when they're desperate? Tell me, what do parents do, Cassandra, when they're desperate?
They sign papers.
Yep. They will sign the papers. You're not going to get your kids back in a week, like they say. You're not going to get your kids back in 3 months. You're not going to get your kids back in the reunification stage. It's all breadcrumbs they feed you with. So you do not have to get another attorney to fight them. So they say, oh, no, you're going to get it back, Cassandra. Everything's going to be fine. Next court date. When is the next court date? 3 months from now. They tell people, 30 days from now, everything's going to be fine. Just do your classes. Everything's going to be okay. Do your classes. You're going to get your kids back. Admit to the allegation. That's another one. Admit to the allegation, you're going to get your kids back. Admit to this, you're going to get your kids back. No, don't admit to shit. If you didn't do it, why in fudge would you admit to it?
That's why I didn't do any of the classes. I didn't do anything.
But
I didn't because
right.
I didn't do it. Like if I would have done it, then maybe I would have. But I'm not going to admit to doing something I didn't do. I'm not going to do classes for something I didn't do.
Yeah.
But their father did do it, and he did do the classes, and they still didn't. They said, oh, yeah, we're going to give him back in January. No, it never happened.
No, they lie. They lie. So basically, all the parent that's desperately wanting their babies back, what do? Okay, I'll sign. I'll do the classes. I don't do drugs, but it's okay. I'm not an alcoholic, but it's okay. It's all for my kids. Then the attorney, the court pretender, piece of shit asshole, comes to the parent and says, well, Mr. Joe, sign here, admit that you did it, right? Admit that you did it, the crime, so that way the judge will give you your kids. But if you don't admit to it, you're not going to see your children. That's what they do. And then I get people calling me 6 months into the case. I'm not joking. 6 months into the case. 12 months into the case, where the case is about to close. You know, adopt the kids or give the legal guardianship to the foster parents, right? Either adoption or legal guardianship, right? So they call me, Georgette, our court hearing is in a week. What type of hearing is it, so-and-so? They say, oh, it's adoption. Adoption? You're calling us a week before the kids get adopted. I said, what happened to you all the months they had your kids? Oh, well, they told me that I was going to get my kids back. So it's a pattern that they use, get it? To keep parents hoping that they are getting their kids back. So what do they have you do classes if you don't do drugs? So they can document that she was in a drug class. She was in a alcoholic class. She was in a domestic violence class. She completed all this. But a normal person, right, from the outside, who's never dealt with CPS will say, oh, the mother must be on drugs. Oh, the mother is violent. Oh, the mother is an alcoholic. Get it? When the mother is not none of these. And it was just allegation from an ex-mother-in-law or a neighbor or a friend or whatever. Get it? Or an ex-girlfriend of a man that the mother is with. Right? If that boyfriend that you're with, example, doesn't have kids, but you do, and the allegation came against him because you know him and you're dating, guess who CPS is going to remove? Your kids. Do you understand what I'm saying? The allegation is not against you, against that man that you're dating, that you didn't know he had a crazy ex-girlfriend. And he's a good man, right? But all of a sudden you fail to protect your kids because you're with this man who the allegation is against from a crazy ex-girlfriend. This is another case we're working on. You understand what I'm saying? So so people open Pandora's box by making false allegation for social workers, these idiots that barely graduated high school, right? Go to your home, who is maybe age 21 or 22, go to your home, and they say you're an unfit mom. When they themselves just barely, were party.
Yeah, like, how many of them actually have kids? Do you guys actually have kids? Do you know what it is like to be a parent? No. So how can you tell us that we're not being a good parent if you've never even tried or had the opportunity to?
Yep.
And I bet if this happened to you, what would you be doing? Like, they don't.
Okay, look. They want, look, I'm going to tell you this. Cassandra, listen to me carefully, okay? When a bully attacks someone, right? What does the bully want you to think? That he is in control or she's in control over you. She has power over you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is a bully? A bully is a coward, right? That intimidates to gain what he or she wants, correct?
Yeah.
That's what the system is. These mother Fs, okay, they want you to think that you have no control over your children by having you sign documents to give them that right. That's all they need. And then once you sign that, you give them full jurisdiction of your children. Mr. Davis, one time on his show, Cassandra said, don't sign anything. He doesn't recommend anybody signing anything without an attorney present, correct? That's very important. The investigation phase of your case is the most important part of your case. Because the attorney, a good attorney that is, will stop that from going forward. Get it? Don't remove the children. I have an attorney deal with my attorney. Once you start opening your mouth with a piece of shit worker, he or she would sabotage every word that came out of your mouth. They will literally put down things you didn't even say. You understand me? They will literally put down things you didn't even say. I'll give you a perfect example. One of our clients recorded all her conversations with the worker. Recorded it. I'm not joking. I listened to at least 10 recordings. And did you say that every word that came out of the mother's mouth was not written down in that freaking day, reporting day? That the worker wrote down completely something different. That's why, even though they consent to recording when they became social workers, you can record them, but they want you to think you can't record them, right? Because it's in violation. It's not in violation because they're city officials. Do you understand me? They're county officials. They can be recorded. I read the law as it pertains to California. But they want parents to think that they can't. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A police officer on the street doing something illegal, and you bring your phone out and you take a video of that, right? Of whatever they're doing. Guess what? They're not going to say, oh, I didn't give you consent to record me. Right?
Right.
So why in the F are you in this field? And why is it so hard for you to be recorded? Get it? Is it because you lie? Right? Is it because you lie? Is that why you don't want to do it? Their biggest thing, and like I tell everybody, the narcissistic's biggest thing is this: they don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
Especially a malignant narcissist, they don't want to get caught. Meaning, they show you. I'll give you an example. A narcissist will show you who he wants you to think he is, correct? But then behind closed doors, that's when the monster comes out. But that's why they're exhausting people. They're so exhausting, you can't figure them out. You have to be brilliant to figure out a narcissist. I'm being honest. You have to literally be able to live with them and assess them based on their behavior. Those mother F's don't want to get caught. So who is taking your children from you? Who is stealing children? Right? Narcissistic assholes that don't want to get caught. But yet, like I said earlier, they would rather have your child on the street. They would rather see your child pregnant. They will tell your child, hey, keep the baby, right? Keep the baby. Have the baby. Am I right or wrong, Cassandra?
Yeah, they
yeah. Why? Because they want to make $140,000 or whatever money they make from that baby. To get that baby adopted from a 14-year-old child who, by the way, if she has that baby and they take that baby from her when she is older, for example, she goes to college, she makes her life better, she wants to make a difference in the world, she has another baby, she gets married, has a baby. For instance, there's another case we were dealing with. Guess what? They're going to take that baby from her and her new husband because of this case that happened when she was 14 years old. That's how effed up the system is. Those mother F's violate everyone's rights daily. And then when the social worker comes knocking on your door, you better not open that door. Social workers cannot get a court order to speak to you, Cassandra, or speak to the kid's father. They cannot, by law, Mr. Davis said, get a court order to force you to speak to them. There is no such thing. So how do they get you? Like a molester would. They sweet talk you. They make you feel comfortable, right? And then they send you another worker who is the bitch from hell. Because now they got you to open up. They got you to trust them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And then the mothers, I've seen mothers who open their mouth and say, oh yeah, the social worker was really cool. Oh, they're amazing. Oh, they're awesome. I mean, come on. How awesome are they? She was so nice. She was so understanding. And what did you tell the social worker? I told her exactly what happened. I told her this and this and this and this and that. Right? I said, did you tell her what color your underwear is? Why don't you add that into the list? She started laughing on the phone. I'm serious. That was a true story. Everything I shared with you guys is all truth. And she said, you know what, Miss G, I forgot to tell her what color my underwear is. I should have told her. I said, that was next. Because you spoke too much. You said too much. That's why it's very important not to speak to the social worker when there is an investigation going on. And here we are dealing with the same bullshit. Different people, different states, different counties. I mean, there was a protest going on in Monterey Park last week, I believe. People are addressing, they're actually being heard now. There's journalists who are actually exposing the system right now. They're working behind the scene exposing. There's detectives that are being hired to monitor the monitor who is monitoring you and your children. So those motherfuckers better be aware, because people are not stupid. People are more awake than ever. You can't continue to steal people's children from good parents who don't deserve to deal with this bullshit. That is not necessary, you mother F's. Not necessary. For what? For a buck? For a quick dollar? It makes absolutely zero sense. What? I'm going to ask you this, Cassandra. What is the decision now with your daughter? Is she going to keep that baby?
No, on Friday, this Friday, she's going to be getting an abortion for the baby. She's not going to keep it because she's also not going to be with the father, of course. He actually has charges on him for a separate girl. So he's a pedophile, and he's been targeting younger girls. He's only 19 at the time right now, though, but he's going for like 14 and 13-year-old girls.
Oh my God. And he's not being what?
He got a slap on the wrist and told that he has 3 years felony probation. And these charges that he got accused of weren't even for my daughter. They were for another young lady. And me and
wait, let me get
me
some
and
water.
another person.
He's 19 years old?
Mm-hmm.
So he's 19 years old, your daughter is 14 years old, and they don't see that there's something wrong with this?
Apparently they do, but they don't care. Like, we've told them that this is what, like, are you guys going to do something about this? Obviously, she's been exploited. Obviously, she's been sexually abused. Like, of course, she's going to fucking go to anybody who gives her some kind of attention, because she doesn't have her family to give her attention right now because you guys took her. from us. Like, she's going to look for somebody who's going to give her attention, who gives her love. He's going to freaking get in her head and tell her, oh, yeah, I love you and I do all this stuff for you and all this. So that way he could get her. Like, what do you guys not get about that?
See, that's
like, of course she's going to find somebody to give her attention.
exactly, because she's not getting it anywhere else. That's why it's very important for the children to be with their loving mothers. It's very important. Very important. And that's, wow. That's why I tell people don't give up. I know it looks bad. And believe me, I know how you feel, Cassandra. And you know I know. Okay? But what they want people to do, especially moms, they want you guys to give up. They want you guys to give up. They want you guys to fall. They want you guys to result in drugs and alcohol. Get it? And literally kill yourself in the process. And they don't care. Your daughters know you love them. Your daughters know you did not give up on them. And they want to come home to you. The social worker that fucking said your daughters don't want to be home with you is a liar. Because she wants to make sure that you're in pain. That you're in so much pain, right? That you will go do something stupid. They keep pushing you, pushing you, pushing you. Right? And then when you react, the judge is not going to see that the social worker is the one that behind all this. Right? The judge just, they believe the social workers because they're stupid. We already know that. They're stupid. They have no brain of their own to ask the right questions or, right? To look at evidence. I can go say, Cassandra, I found cocaine in Cassandra's bag last week. I could say that easily, right? The social worker is going to go interview Cassandra. Social worker is going to say, anonymous person said she found cocaine, a bag of cocaine in Cassandra's bag, right? A judge should say, well, it's hearsay, right? It's hearsay.
Yep.
Where's the evidence? Show me a piece of freaking paper that shows that Cassandra carried a bag of cocaine. Nothing, right? The case should be dismissed. But oh no. Judges? Oh, well, you know, Cassandra, she needs to do these classes, blah, 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 blah. And then Cassandra's done with all her classes, but yet her kids are still not with her. That's why in the beginning of the video that touched your heart, Cassandra, what did Mr. Davis say? You have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent. Yeah. That's why winning cases like this takes strategy. It takes for the attorney to review the case very carefully. It takes apart from you also as the parent. Don't get yourself into shit. Don't react over the social worker's actions. You cannot react. You have to show them a poker face, right? When you're playing poker, you don't want your, next to or in front of you know what kind of cards you have, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to give them a poker face, meaning there's nothing in your facial expression that shows that you have the winning cards, correct? Same thing with the system. You have to be as cold as ice. That's my advice to you guys. Do not take matters in your own hand and retaliate against them. You have to be smarter than them. You have to be 5 steps ahead of them. Not 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 5 steps ahead of them. And don't let them know what you are up to. That's the only advice that I can give you, right, as a parent to another parent. because they're not your friend. They're not there to help you. They don't want you to hire an attorney outside from their realm because, the court pretenders, they go have drinks together. All these court appointed attorneys, they go have their fun time with social workers after work. You know that, Cassandra, right? They're very close. They're buddies. They crack jokes. They play poker. They drink together. They party together. So don't ever think that what you tell your court-appointed attorney is confidential. It's not confidential, sweetheart. That's why they want to give you breadcrumbs so you don't hire an attorney outside of their whorehouse. So every juvenile court, I call it the whorehouse. And it's for a reason. Okay? Cassandra, you have my information. Can you please give me a call on Friday morning? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I need to kind of discuss something that I thought about, but I can't discuss it on the show. But remind me Friday morning to call me, and we'll go from there. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So the show came to an end. Cassandra, thank you so much for joining me. I know that I read a couple of comments. You guys want to be on the show, please contact Grace. She did put her information on there. She is the show producer, and she will be able to put your name on the list. And again, I want you guys to stay strong, and please do not allow them to have power over you by intimidation and some bullshit that they intimidate you with and scare you with. Do not give in and do not retaliate in a violent way, because you will look like you're the crazy one. Remember, an abuser always turns the table to you. They're the crazy ones, but they're going to turn it around and say, you're the crazy one. You're the one who did this.
Mm-hmm.
So don't give them a reason to hold against you. Don't give them ammunition, right? To hold against or to use against you. Don't do it. That's like you're giving them a gun and the bullets and say, here you go. You can shoot me. Don't allow that. You have to be smarter than this. Yes, your kids are your heart, your mind, your body, and soul. 100. That's never going to change. But you have to outsmart them. You have to be stronger. You have to educate yourself. People call me. They don't even know what CPS is. Did you do your research? No. I'm a good parent. Well, did you read this? No, I'm a good parent. Well, can I send you this? No, it's not necessary. Then why are you calling me? Why? Oh, I just want to know if what else should I do? Well, I'm giving you materials to help you, right? I'm telling you what their next step is. But you're so convinced you're a great parent that they're not going to take your kids from you. But then a month from now or 2 days from now, you're going to call me back and say, Miss G, they took my kids. They don't care if you're Mother of the Year. Look at Cassandra. She did nothing. And they still stole her daughters. So you guys have to get it together and find strength within you. Build yourself up and show them who is boss. Because we really do have power over them. We just feel helpless when they steal your children. Remember that. An abuser will always steal what's dear to you, to your heart, because they know how a mother and a father pain is when they don't have their family together. That's painful. And some parents cannot endure it. Some parents actually die from a broken heart syndrome. We have a mother that actually had a silent heart attack or something while the grandmother was videotaping them stealing her grandkids. And once that social worker told the mother, you will never see your children again, the mother died. Okay? That's the worst thing you can do to a mother or a father, especially if they're good people. They're good parents. They're dedicated to their kids. So don't allow them to see you like this. You have to swallow it. You have to build yourself, make yourself stronger, educate yourself, gain knowledge. Melissa Davis has a book that I text everybody I speak with. For those of you guys that spoke with me, I text you guys every time I speak to someone. I text them the book. Why? I want you to educate yourself. I want you to gain knowledge. I want you to know your rights. This has nothing to do with you being a great parent. They don't steal kids from bad parents. They actually keep kids in abusive homes. You know that, right? Cassandra?
Yeah.
You're shaking your head because you know I'm right.
I've seen so many kids that are in horrible situations, and they still have their kids.
They have their kids.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible situations.
Yeah.
Like, and it makes me sick. Like, it really does.
Yeah. And then other people in America would look at Cassandra, for example. Oh, Cassandra, you must be a bad mom because they stole your kids. You motherfuckers have no idea what CPS is all about. You out there who think that they take kids from bad mothers, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. So don't judge. Because one day, you or your grandkids are going to be in this situation, and karma is a bitch. And you're going to remember how you judge other mothers and fathers who are innocent and victims of the fucking CPS bullshit. Because all the moms I speak with and the dads are victims of this bullshit. So again, do not think because you are in a CPS investigation phase that you're going to be found innocent. Cassandra, am I right or wrong?
You're right.
This shit is
I didn't even.
Yeah.
I don't remember even having an investigation. Like, I don't remember them ever trying to find out any of those allegations were true. Ever. Never. They just said they were, and that was it.
Yeah, but they wrote down that they did an investigation. You were just not aware of it. You know why? Because they were outside farting after lunch. Right? So they had a brain fart and they thought they actually had conducted an investigation. I'm being sarcastic. You know they didn't do no damn investigation.
Yeah.
But the moment a social worker contacts you or anyone out there, what I'm saying, in the beginning stages, you better know that you need a juvenile dependency attorney, not a family law attorney. Juvenile dependency attorney, that is very important to know the difference. Two separate things, two separate entities. They're not together like this. No, they're separate. So a family law attorney will not know what the fridge to do in a juvenile court. A juvenile attorney who understands will know. I'm not talking about the court pretenders. Again, I'm going to make myself very clear. These court-appointed attorneys are useless and pieces of shit. Period. There is nothing after it. You understand? And Cassandra, you follow me on that one.
Yeah.
If you can't afford an attorney, babe, I suggest everybody ask their friends, their family. We have clients who actually collected money from each family member. And she said, Georgette, the first family member gave me 50, the second one gave me 200, and then it's like, $5. It adds up. It adds up. Never give up. Cassandra, thank you so much for joining me, sweetheart. We're going to talk on Friday. And then everybody, please remain strong. Think positive. Remember, it's what comes out of your mouth that defiles you. Remember that? And what comes out of your mouth is what you set in your life. Do not be negative about your life. Even if your kids are not with you right now, you're going to wake up every morning seeing your kids at home with you. Remember that. It's what your thoughts, what you put out there is what you're going to create in your life. I'm a firm believer God exists no matter how bad your circumstances are. God is still on the throne, period. CPS will have a day because they're already coming to a lot of exposures out there. They are being exposed. Social workers, you better look for another job, you pieces of shit, because you will be exposed. And you will never know how, but you will be exposed. I love you guys. God bless you. Please join me at 7 o'clock with Relatives Fight CPS. That's 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Cassandra again. It's a pleasure, my love. And I will talk to you on Friday. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everyone.